Hey everybody! So today we're going to take a look at the Mogwai Gizmo puppet from Gremlins, movie Gremlins. Now this is from Trick or Treat Studios. Now in a previous video when I was showing the dancing and singing Gizmo from Neca, I hinted in that video that I had another Gizmo coming, and this is it right here. Now this one here is a hand puppet, but it's meant to be more of like a prop replica, more so than like a toy is my guess. And we're going to take a closer look at this. Now, I was a little sketchy about buying this at first because on Amazon, which is where I got this, I think you can also go to Trick or Treat Studios and get it. There was some half and half when it came to the ratings of this. About 53% of people really liked this and gave it 5 stars, and then the remaining 47% was kind of somewhere in the middle and sometimes lower, and they were discussing certain things about this. So this is the box that he comes in. He's not encased in anything. It's just kind of exposed. On the side here, it says not for sale based on the movie, how he wasn't for sale, Gizmo. Back here, it says, oh, it's not on here, but it just kind of talks about how the product has latex rubber latex. So I'm hoping that those ears and hands and feet will last over the years, because rubber latex doesn't usually have a good long-lasting thing. We're referring to this material here. Here it says, no bright light, don't get wet, never feed after midnight. The 3 main rules for having a Mogwai. All right, well, anyway, let me get him out of the box here and we'll take a look at him. All right, now here he is outside of the package. Now, first impressions with this is that he's better than I thought he was going to be. The complaints on some of the reviews on Amazon, now you got to keep in mind some of those were older reviews, and so maybe Trick or Treat Studios has improved this over the years, which I'm guessing they probably did. But some of the things they were saying is that the nails weren't painted very good. They look really good on this one. The eyes were scratched up. Everything's hand painted. I think these are handcrafted. I don't think they're they're mass produced, but they're not probably machine made so much like the Neca version. I'll bring the Neca version out so we can kind of compare the two. That's the dancing and singing one. This one here is more like a prop replica. It kind of reminds me more of what you would see if you saw one of the original Gremlin puppets at an auction or something like that. Now these hands and feet, they're that latex rubber. They are hollow. When you squeeze them, you can tell there's nothing in them. You can kind of see this here. Same with the ears. But they look pretty realistic just the way they are. So here, I'll show you a close-up. Now, the hands probably could be molded a little bit better. They do look a little rough, kind of where the fingers aren't separated. But the nails still look pretty good. There's his little toes, which looks pretty good. The paint job on them looks pretty realistic. The bottom of his feet have this kind of pink that they've added in. The fur looks pretty good too. You can kind of poof it up a little bit. Now here's the eyes. Take a look at those eyes. You can tell those are hand painted. So it probably takes, a little bit of effort to make these. His mouth, his nose, all of that looks really good. So yeah, I would say he's not as cute as the Neca version, but it's, he's still kind of cool. I like it. I think it's pretty neat. Now on the back here, this is where the puppet part comes in. There's this hole right here in the fur. You have to kind of pull the fur out here. And the hole's not very big, as you can see here. An adult would have a hard time sticking their hand in there. And I think a child would have a hard time even operating this as well, just because of the awkwardness of the way everything is. I'll show you a close-up on the inside, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Another complaint that people were talking about on the Amazon reviews is that the fur kept falling out. I'm not seeing the fur falling out. I see a hair or two here or there, which is to be expected, but it's not coming out in clumps or anything like that. So that might be something that Trick or Treat Studios also improved on this. But overall, I think he's kind of cool so far. All right, let me show you that mechanism, or, well, the hole in the back. Hopefully I can show this decently with this lighting. Okay, so now when you open this up, you can see the hole in here, and it's made of that same kind of rubber material. But now what makes this hard is, first of all, the hole's not big enough for you to stick your whole hand in here. And you can see here there's a hole right there. That is for this arm right here. Okay, so you can operate his little arm, but it's hard to kind of reach in there. It depends on if you're right or left-handed. Now you got another hole right here. You can just kind of see it right there. And that's where you can stick maybe your index finger in here. You can get it far enough in you can manipulate his arm like this. You can kind of make it move like that. But then you can't get your thumb over to this side. And try to get your thumb over there, and you can't get it far enough in to really make this move. I mean, it's really awkward. It's a really awkward way that this is set up. So, I mean, I can only get my thumb like up to this point up here. So it's hard to kind of move everything. The head, I guess you can probably put your hand up here to try to move the head a little bit, but the head is stiff. It's all stiff within the neck. So it's not like you can turn his head or anything. Now there is some holes down here for the feet, and you could probably make his feet, move a little bit like this. But you can't really, well, I guess you can kind of make him walk, if you bend his feet back. So, I guess technically he's a puppet. It's just that he's not a very easy puppet to move. I think for me personally, I would never really use him as a puppet anyway. In fact, I kind of would have preferred they just forgot about the whole puppet feature on this and just made him like a little realistic as possible replica of Gizmo. And plus, I don't really like how the fur sticks out like that. So you might have to kind of tuck it in like this, kind of fold in these corners like this, and then just kind of bring this in and try to hide that hole. Just manipulate it so you can kind of make it look more like a natural fur back here. But yeah. All right, so that's how that looks on the back. Okay, so now here's the two together. You got the Neca one over here. That's the dancing, singing one. This is the Trick or Treat Studios. Now you'll notice this one here is a little bit bigger. I would say he's probably more accurate to actual size of the original Gizmo puppet based on the scene where Billy is cradling him in his arms. So this is probably more accurate size-wise, but you can definitely tell the difference in their face. The Neca one by far is cuter. I mean, look at he is absolutely adorable. And so I think he looks really cool. At the same time, this one here is probably more prop-like I mentioned before. You can just kind of see the differences in the faces. So it's definitely going to be up to you if you decide which one you want to go for. This one here is a lot more expensive. This one here was $71 or $72. It's a lot more expensive, probably because of the hand crafting that it takes to make this, versus this one, which is probably machine made and definitely mass produced. But at the same time, I do think this one's cuter. Now this one here, as I showed in the other video, he has motion and sound, and he sings that song. All right, see how cute he is? So he's absolutely adorable. Now here, let me turn him off. He's going to start when I move him. Oh, I caught it before he turned on. Okay, so this one definitely has more going for it because he sings, he moves. I would say he's cuter. He's definitely much more affordable. He's about a third of the price of this one. I think I got this one for $25 versus $71 or $72 for this one. So I would say that most people are probably going to buy this one just because of the reasons I mentioned versus this one. But if you're kind of more of a prop collector or you're more into the realism of it, then this one's okay too. If you're a huge Gremlins fan or a Gizmo fan, you're probably going to want both of these just for, the completion of a collection. This one here is definitely the most realistic that I have seen as far as, the different Gizmos out there. But I don't know. I think I like this one better. I think I like the Neca one better just because I'm a sucker for cute and he is a real cutie. I mean, look how cute he is. He's so cute. This one's kind of cute too in his own way. But yeah, I think the Neca one's better. But still, I'm not I'm not disappointed with this. All the different ratings I saw on Amazon, this one's actually better than I thought it was going to be, and I'm kind of glad I got them. So there we go. That is the comparison of these two and a close look at the Trick or Treat Studios. I'll put a link in the description for Amazon to buy one of these. I think Trick or Treat Studios, I'm sure they probably have their own website. And you can check them out too. There's probably other websites that you can buy this from. I wouldn't pay any more than $72 if Amazon can offer it for that price. And, that's probably the best price you can probably get, I'm guessing. But there we go. Little gizmos. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe if you'd please. I'd really appreciate it if you like this sort of stuff. And I'll see you on the next video. So thanks again and have a good one.